Two bros chilling in the hot tub.
You the twos and we the ones? Well, you are the biggest two of them all, my dog. That's what you are. You are a giant number two.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Two Bros Podcast, NBA edition. I am Bryce. I look like Nelly today. I got a bandit on my cheek, and I am joined by.
Why are you pointing the wrong way?
Oh, this way.
I'm Matt.
My screen is small, so
Matt.
you're below me on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm seeing you right now.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I have to have the notes up. So we're going to talk the NBA today. And there's a change the All-Star format, and we're going to talk about that at the end. We're going to get to the notable injuries / moves. The first one is LeBron James was recalled from the South Bay Lakers, and he is to be determined to make his season debut tonight versus Utah. If he plays, what are you expecting from LeBron James?
First off, guys, if I sound weird and I look weird, I'm sitting in bed. I'm a little sick, so I'm not in my usual setup where there's my desk over there. I'm expecting a minutes restriction for LeBron. With him being injured and a 40-something-year-old man, he's not going to play a full amount of time like a Luka Doncic or an Austin Reeves will play. I expect him to have a decent game, but definitely minutes restriction.
Yeah, it's obvious that I don't think he is going to play a full 35, 36, 38 minutes. Oh, he's making his debut. So it's official. He is debuting tonight. So he is 39. Well, he's 40, actually. He'll be one next month. But yeah, no, I expect probably 25 to 30 minutes tonight because he is LeBron James and he is the GOAT for a reason, but he's still human at the end of the day. And he's 39. Oh, 40, correction. Never mind. But Paul George made his season debut last night in a 110-108 win over the Clippers. And he started and he played. He played 21 minutes, 9 points, 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, 4 for 7 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. What are we expecting as Paul George keeps going? Do we expect Paul George to ever go back to being the PG-13 of old, or do you think this is just what we're going to expect?
I would
secondary, tertiary option.
I would say he's going to be a second, maybe third, maybe fourth option, especially if Jared McCain is fully healthy. Quentin Grimes, VJ Hedgecock, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. I just don't foresee him being a focal point of this team at all. Honestly, I can foresee him being a depth piece, especially if you want to start Quentin Grimes, who's a better option. And Quentin Grimes went 6 for 10, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And let me see, no turnovers compared to Paul George's 1 turnover. Quentin Grimes at a plus 12, while PG at a negative 9.
Yeah, but I still think PG at this moment will bring you something that Quentin Grimes doesn't, and that is positive defense. He will bring you positive defense at the minimum. And I think with all the scoring they have, it's kind of nice to have Paul George playing his positive defense for them because VJ is not he's a good defender. He's not Paul George level defense. Tyrese Maxey isn't a good defender, but it's nice to see that at least he's back and playing. And hopefully we will see Paul George and the reason why they signed him to this 4-year, $180 million contract.
Well, they expected him to be a superstar. They expected him to be the guy that he was his final few years with LA, and he's just never going to be that level of player again.
Okay, this next thing sucks for you, for your Dynasty fantasy team, although it's really not as bad because it is Dynasty. Victor Wembanyama suffers a left calf strain and he is out for multiple weeks. What does the Spurs outcome look like for the next few weeks while he's out?
This Spurs team has been trying to figure out their identity. Obviously, their identity is heavily impacted by Victor Wembanyama. I think depending on how many weeks he's out for, this could lead to a potential trade of a guy like De'Aaron Fox, who now, looking at how he's played this year, doesn't fit this team as much as we thought he would. it might make them where they make it where they make a move for a very good backup big, someone who can take over with Wemby being out. This is the third straight season where he's had some kind of injury or some kind of issue that's kept him out for an extended amount of time.
Second, he didn't have one his first year.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, but the second straight season where he's had something that's kept him out for an extended amount of time. So you have to look at your roster and see if there's anything you can give up to get a depth piece that is going to be an elite level depth piece. I'm talking a Mitchell Robinson who can back him up. What is it? Mark Edward? No, the guy from Phoenix. So
Mark
many
Williams.
Mark Williams. Thank you. You kind of have to look at this team and see who doesn't fit, who's the odd man out. And right now it's De'Aaron Fox, who could be a fantastic player to move for a team like the Timberwolves, a team like the Rockets who need genuine point guard play. Like the Rockets could move off of Steven Adams and a first round pick and maybe even another depth piece to get themselves that much closer while Wemby is out and a guy can at least hold his own.
I think the funny thing that you mentioned is you mentioned two guys to back up Wemby during this injury in Mitchell Robinson and Mark Williams, who are super injury prone themselves. And Victor Wembanyama, this is the blood clots we can't even, that's like a freak thing. And the calf strain is normal. Like calf strains happen with NBA players all the time. But the two that you mentioned are guys who cannot stay on the floor. What's actually going to mention Robert Williams, another to back him up to a guy who has actually never played more than 45 games in a year.
I'm not calling Wemby injury prone. I'm saying when your entire identity is built around your star center, you almost have to have in a really good backup center. Because if your entire game plan is built around this guy, you need someone who though they don't have to be half the player he is, just the third of the player he is to have fill some time when he's not on the floor.
I do like the Steven Adams option that you mentioned. I do think Steven Adams is a guy who is super underrated. We saw how good he was during his days in OKC, and he was the Robin to Russell Westbrook's Batman, and he excelled really well at it. And we saw him play well in Memphis. And I think that this is a guy, if you give him more playing time, he can play really well. But the only time he would ever need to be played in San Antonio is if a situation like this, when Wemby gets hurt for multiple weeks at a time. But obviously he's insurance, but you never want to use him. But he's definitely, there are worse options to have if he's your backup center.
Oh my gosh.
The next one was, I think this happened last night, and then they confirmed today that Giannis Antetokounmpo left the game versus Cleveland last night with a groin injury, and he is out for multiple weeks. This is a team who you think that San Antonio relies on their identity being Wemby. Milwaukee eats, sleeps, breathes, lives, dies by this man being on the court. He is the only reason why they have been relevant for the last 13 years. And if Giannis misses time, this is devastation to the T for Bucks fans and the Bucks as an organization in general.
So currently the Bucks are sitting outside the playoffs at the playoffs as they're in the play-in right now at 8-7. Of course, outside of Boston, there's no other team below them who's actually a contender or actually a threat. But right now, with you sitting at 8-7, you're missing your star. If he's out for like 3 to 4 weeks, this could completely eliminate them from the playoffs altogether. No, because look, in 3 to 4 weeks, you can drop off anywhere from 6 to 10 games. And we've already seen them go 8-7 with Giannis. That's even questioning if this injury isn't worse than we expect, if it isn't re-aggravated, or if he's even the player he fully expected to be. Now, we can probably knock that one off. Giannis is always going to be Giannis. He's the closest thing we have to He's the closest thing we have to a modern day Shaq. But we don't know how long this injury will last for, and we don't know how good they will be after he comes back.
That's true. And will the roster even look the same? Because this organization has proven they don't really know how to build correctly around Giannis, with the exception of one year, because we've seen before that and we've seen after that them losing the first round pretty much every single year. Without that 2021 year, you could argue that this is the most dysfunctional front office that a superstar has ever had in NBA history, because they have done nothing to help Giannis.
You have to wonder why they haven't blown it up yet. I mean, I understand that he is a top 3 player in the NBA, but it's clear as day you're not going to win. It's clear as day you are going to be a middle of the pack team who's going to be bounced in the first or second round every year, and you are wasting one of the greatest players of all time's career. Like you have to look at this guy and recognize the generational kind of talent he is. You are wasting the career of a guy who's on the level of Nikola Jokic, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. You have to look at him in the same level of those kind of guys, and those are legends. So you're wasting him. I mean, honestly, it just does not make any sense. At this point, if he's out for an extended amount of time and this team looks like they're going nowhere, they need to trade him at the deadline. And because we saw a guy like Luka traded last year, at this point, you have to expect anyone to possibly be moved. Nobody is safe.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Sorry, I went into meltdown mode. Tortellini jumped all over my computer and then went all crazy.
No, you were expecting your computer to be turned off by accident. I understand.
I was actually, so I'm glad it didn't. But I agree 100%. They have wasted. No, do not go up there. No, do not go up there. Get down.
Do we need to pause for technical difficulties?
No, we're good. Tortellini, no. But yeah, I totally forgot what I was going to say. My cat. No,
they wasted.
Tortellini.
They were wasting Giannis.
She's on one tonight. But yeah, no, I totally agree. They're wasting him 100%. This is very similar to the pre-Pau Gasol Lakers, to where Kobe was this all-world NBA player, and they just did nothing to help him at all. But next, we're going to talk about an injury that probably doesn't have much of an impact as the last two, because he's not of the caliber that either Giannis or Victor Wembanyama is. But OG Anunoby is out multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. What does this mean for the Knicks?
It definitely hurts their identity. They are known as a great defensive team. That's what they've always been schemed around. Josh Hart's a guy you can rely on defense. OG Anunoby, even Cat is a very average level defender. So this is of course you're right. He is not on the level of Giannis Antetokounmpo or Victor Wembanyama, but his loss of this being their guy, their heart and soul, their defense, it's going to hurt them a lot. He is a guy who you want to throw him on Jimmy Butler. You want to throw him on Donovan Mitchell. You want to throw him on the best scoring player on the team. So losing him puts a lot of stress on Josh Hart, puts a lot of stress on Cat, puts a lot of stress on Deuce McBride. It puts a lot of stress on these guys who wouldn't have to be the number one defender now that he's out.
Yeah. And yeah, no, you said it perfectly. This is a team whose defense isn't great in the first place. Even though they were rumored to be this all-world defense. But when you have guys like Jalen Brunson, when you have guys like Cat, who are one of the worst defenders of their position, Mikal Bridges is an overrated defender. The only legit solid defender on this team that is consistently, well, I wouldn't even say consistently healthy, because OG is not, is OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson, and neither one of them are consistently healthy. And when you have your guys that are below average defense or overrated defense constantly there, you build up this reputation that you're this all-worldly defensive team, when in reality, you're not, because Cat is a terrible defender. Jalen Brunson might be one of the worst defensive point guards in NBA history. And Mikal Bridges is the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NBA. The defense insanely overrated. Insanely overrated. Like, he's not.
I heavily disagree.
That's besides the point. I will put my Mikal Bridges disdain aside, but I just think he's a guy who should be coming off the bench if you want to win a championship. Last is, this is fun because the All-Star format is changed. Again, for the third time since 2020. 3 teams now, the round-robin style play. Each game is 12 minutes. There are 3 teams Team A faces Team B. The winner faces Team C in the second game, and then the loser of Team A and Team B faces Team C in Game 3. There are 2 U.S. teams and 1 international team. Each team is a team of 8. Now, before we get to the fun part, where we're going to predict the All-Stars for each team, is this in reality going to do anything to help sort of bring the All-Star game back to the relevance it used to have?
No, just because we understand the reason the All-Star game isn't what it used to be is the level of talent there is right now. I mean, we see guys like Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and I agree that the talent right now is better, but the talent right now doesn't care as much.
Yeah.
Back then, they like went all out. The All-Star game wasn't just a day to like goof off. Now you see guys, centers chucking up threes from mid-court. Like it's just not important to anyone anymore. So I
It's
don't
really not.
This is gonna be fun, but I just do not foresee this breeding any kind of competitive pitch.
I agree 100%. I don't think there's anything that the NBA can do at this point to even bring the All-Star game back to any sort of relevancy.
I think there could do is maybe do a one-on-one tournament.
The NHL does what? The 3v3?
Mm-hmm.
And the NFL does now flag football. So maybe they do something like that because everybody knows the All-Star games are exhibition and nobody shouldn't care.
No one's willing to risk getting hurt for an All-Star game, which I respect that. I would not want to tear my ACL playing the All-Star game, but there has to be something, you know. These guys are the best players in the league for a reason. Yeah. You want to see them show out, but all aspects of the game.
Yeah. Now the fun part. You and I are going to predict each team for the All-Star team. I don't know if I mentioned before, but there are 2 U.S. teams and 1 international team. What are those teams looking like? Team 1, who's your first player on Team 1?
So I think we went in a different. I think you went by who they would take. So I went by position. So Team 1, I have Jalen Brunson. It's hard to pick against him. He is the best player on one of the best teams in the East, and just one of the best teams in the league. I have a hard time seeing him not get taken for an All-Star team.
I have Jalen Brunson on Team 1 as well. I think he's one of the best scorers from the point guard position in the league. And I think that he would be the first point guard selected for Team USA or for the US side.
Bryce, who do you have on your Team 1 for your? So did you go by first pick?
No.
Or did you just throw names on the US?
I just threw names.
How about this? Why don't you give me your Team 1 and then I'll give you my
team. I already mentioned one of mine, but my Team 1 is LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Duren, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, and Julius Randle.
You have all the Jalens on your team?
Yeah. Team 1 has all the Jalens, yeah.
We have a similar team, but not the same. So I also have Jalen Brunson, I mentioned. I have Donovan Mitchell, Austin Reeves, Kevin Durant, Julius Randle, Steph Curry, Keontae George, and Evan Mobley.
Oh, you have Keontae George in there.
So I really think if you look at him right now, he's averaging 22 points per game. He is the heart and soul of this team outside Lauri Markkanen. Really, he's playing outstanding. Like, he is playing.
I'm surprised that you said that over someone else. Keontae George over someone else. I thought you were going to say Isaiah Collier.
No, I mean, look, Keontae George is playing like a man possessed, and he's still such a young player. I would not be surprised if he gets a nod this year, especially because you have to kind of pick international for one team and then US for the other two. It kind of lowers the player pool you can have. So I think he can squeak in.
I think it's too early for Keontae George with him only being a second or third year guy with all the other guys that are on here, because a lot of the other guys on here are guys who are more established. And that's a surprise. That's surprising for me that you'll have him an all-star.
Look, the reason I said that is there's been a lot of surprise all-stars the past few years. Also, a lot of players who got in because of injury. So I would not be surprised if at some point he ends up in the All-Star game this year because of either injury or just somehow he got the fan vote.
That's true. Okay. Team 2, I have Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Maxey, Austin Reeves, Cat, James Harden, Scotty Barnes, and Norman Powell.
We went very different, not very. We went different directions with this, but and you left a player off of your Team USA who blows my mind. Let me verify. Actually, he is an American, real quick.
I
Because if he's not,
think I know who you're talking about. He might be Canadian.
no, he's not. All right, so my team too, also Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edward, Cade Cunningham, and Jaylen Brown.
I
The fact
forgot
that
about
you
Anthony
forgot
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards and Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is the best player on the best ranked team in the NBA.
How did I forget?
Sorry, the Eastern Conference. And Cade Cunningham. That was a little surprising you forgot him.
I mean,
Yeah,
I probably
really-
would put him. I would probably put him over Austin Reeves,
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham. And even though I love Austin Reeves, I
Who
would
do you
probably
replace for Anthony Edwards?
I would probably take James Harden off the list.
Yeah, I
Probably
would say you have to remove James.
Probably would. I think Norman Powell's playing a million times better than James Harden is right now, so he has to be a guy that is going to be a first-time All-Star. But yeah, I think I would have to put Cade Cunningham and Anthony Edwards on team 2 of the All-Star. Now, team 3, international. Who do you have for your?
I think we're almost identical in our international.
I'm pretty sure. I think I know where our differences are going to be, but I'm pretty sure you and I pretty much
we're
have
off by
6 of the same, at least 6.
I think we're 2 players we have different.
And I'm pretty sure I know who they are.
So I have Luka, SGA, Larry Markkinen, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, Denny Avdia, Alperen Şengün, Jamal Murray, and Josh Giddey.
That's 9.
Oh, then take Jamal Murray off of there.
I was about to say,
oops.
Wait, you don't have Alex Sarr on there?
No, I do not have him as. I think a lot of people are high on him, but I think just with how bad the Wizards are, it's going to be really hard to actually put him on anything. Josh Giddey playing out of his mind. Alperen Şengün, I mean, one of the best players on one of the best teams. It's hard to knock him off.
Yeah, I have my team 3: Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, SGA, Alex Sarr, Lauri Markkanen, and Denny Avdia. That's my
So
team
the
3.
reason I don't have Wemby is because I'm not sure if he'll qualify for the All-Star game with the injury.
He's
So I don't
not
know
gonna
if
miss that
I'm not sure if he's going to miss as much time. So I took him off just for pure injury. If I had to put him in, I'd remove Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey's having an incredible year, but I think even without Wemby, I still think there are 8 international players that are better than Josh Giddey
is
right
because most of your international guys who are really good are bigs. So you have to kind of take a look at the need for balance on a team. Luka and SGA are the only other guards you have in the team. So a guy like Josh Giddey or Jamal Murray gets the nod.
Yeah, but Denny Avdia could play small forward.
Yeah, but
Giannis can play small forward.
What about shooting guard? Point guard.
Luka and SGA.
What, you're gonna have one of them come off the bench?
No, Luka point guard, or Luka SGA point guard, Luka shooting guard.
I'm saying for
depth small
pieces,
forward.
I think you run
Giannis at power forward and Jokic at center. That's your 5. And then you have Alex Sarr coming off the bench. You have Lauri Markkanen coming off the bench, and then you have Wemby coming off the bench.
So with Alex Sarr, I mean, his numbers this year aren't even crazy enough to really put him in that race.
Yeah, but when he comes in, he's averaging almost a double-double with 19 a game right now.
Yes, but it's not translating to anything.
And it's defense, and he's playing incredible defense.
He's averaging 18.3, 8.2, 3.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than last year. I mean, the 2 blocks a game is where you might get that nod.
Mm-hmm. Josh Giddey plays no defense. None.
Just for me, I think a guy like Jamal Murray or Josh Giddey gets the nod, and Alperen Şengün, of course. I'd have to if I had to choose an Alex Sarr and Alperen Şengün, I'm going with Şengün any day.
That's where it's tough for me because I think Alex Sarr has more versatility because he can play a power forward. I think Şengün is more just a center, and you're not getting in over Wemby or Jokic it's not happening at center. And then I think if I had to take someone off, it probably would be Lauri Markkinen. I think it would be if I had to take someone off. If I had to replace Şengün with somebody, it would be Lauri Markkinen.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then if I had to replace Alex or Josh Giddey with someone, it would be Alex Saar. But I think that I will still take both of them right now over Şengün and Giddey.
Good thing these are our own individual lists.
Yes.
It's interesting that we both had Denny Avdia. I mean, even
he's playing incredible right now.
I think he is someone that's a trade that is going to really look stupid in a few years. That you gave up on a guy like Denny Avdia, who is just playing out of his mind and is looking to be the actual star of this Blazers.
Just think, the Wizards could have had Alex Saar and Denny Avdia right now.
They really could have had. I mean, and even though like he's not playing great right now, Jordan Poole would have been an amazing vet to have with this team. This team could actually have some genuine talent on it instead of
they had to trade him for CJ McCollum,
who has been good,
playing well. But
it's just you want a younger, more efficient scorer.
I mean, I guess that they have two guys that they could get real trade pieces out of this offseason in Middleton and CJ McCollum, who could bring meaningful minutes to a championship team. But that's the fun part. How would these standings go for the All-Star?
For me,
who's coming in second? Because we all know who's coming in first.
What, the international team?
The international team would dominate.
I would say for me, it's team one. With having guys like Brunson, KD, Steph Curry, and Donovan Mitchell, the fully heavily outpowered Devin Booker and LeBron James led team two.
You know what they should do? They should put all the older guys on one team, all the younger All-Stars on another team, and then international.
No, because what will happen is the old guys would all just sit. None of them would play.
That's fair. Yeah, but you would have guys like probably Donovan Mitchell in that crew. You would have probably Jalen Brunson in that crew, Devin Booker, Steph Curry.
I don't know. It could end up happening that way because I think this probably end up being a team captain type thing where they choose. So I would not be surprised if LeBron ends up grabbing all of his buddies for his last hurrah.
You think this is LeBron's last year?
I do.
I don't.
If he comes out,
he's going to want a proper farewell tour.
If he comes out and he struggles and they're not a great team, look for him to retire.
I don't know about that one. But anyways, that's going to do it for this podcast. Hope you liked it. If you did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.